The Monkey and the Crocodile, the Heart That Waited. A river fable unfolding across lifetimes and lifelines. Before the first hunter whispered into the forest and before the first boat troubled the river's skin, there was stillness. A stillness so old that even the vine stepped carefully. In this silence lived a tamarind tree, its branches touching both sky and water, as if it had grown to carry conversations between worlds. And nestled in its arms lived a monkey named Vidu, whose spirit echoed not with noise, but with listening. He rose with mist and slept with moonlight. He did not gather more than he needed, nor speak when silence was enough. Other monkeys called him odd. The birds, they called him wise. One Sunrise, as mist unfurled like rolled parchment, ripples formed below. Karun, the crocodile. Eyes like pebbles. Heart like moss-covered stone. His hunger that day was not for fish, but for meaning. They exchanged no names, only silence. On the second day, a glance. By the fifth, fruit passed gently from branch to water. By the seventh, stories. Vidu spoke of stars that danced alone, of clouds that never touched, of trees that mourned in monsoon. Karun listened like a river bank does, holding it all, shaping none. But below his calm floated a storm. His mate was withering, caught between breath and the place beyond it. A forest woman once said, "Only the heart of the joyful can stir the fading back." And so Karun plotted softly. On the 12th full moon, he spoke. "My mate is dying." Vidu did not blink. "She needs what you carry." Vidu lowered a tamarind into the river. "Then take me to her." They traveled across water so deep even time could not touch the bottom. But midway, Karun paused. "I lied." "I know," Vidu said. Karun flinched. "You knew." "The river tells everything. Even the things you don't say ripple." Karun's voice cracked. "I wanted to believe I wouldn't, but hunger, it's louder than hope." Vidu looked at the clouds as if reading their edges. "I left my heart in the tree," he whispered. "I carry only trust when I travel." Karun turned. Vidu leapt, not with panic, but with peace, back into the branches that had raised him. He did not curse. He did not flee. He simply whispered, "You mistook joy for possession. But joy cannot be plucked. It arrives and leaves on its own feet." Karun disappeared into shame. But time, like rivers, circles back. Years passed. Vidu aged. Other monkeys rose and fell like forest chants. But Vidu remained, not just living, but listening. Every evening, he dropped a fruit into the river. Not as bait. Not as offering. But as memory. Then one dusk, after a storm had cleared the sky like a confession, ripples returned. Karun. Older. Slower. But changed. "I do not come for fruit," he said. Vidu nodded. "Then stay. You've finally arrived." They spoke till dawn. No apologies, just truths. Not about betrayal, but about the long arc from mistake to becoming. And so the forest learned, the monkey who leapt without fury, the crocodile who returned without hunger, and the river that carried their silence like prayer. If you pass that bend by twilight and close your eyes, you might still hear a voice brushing the leaves. To love is not to own. To forgive is not to forget. But to remember with softness, that is the heart's true shape. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. ALP Academy, learn lightly, grow deeply.